first trailer for Disney's Cruella, starring Emma Stone, has arrived, and if she doesn't scare you, no evil thing will. Today I'm going to take a look at the trailer and tell you a little bit about what I'm most excited about and what you should be looking out for with this movie.
I'm Cruella.
So let's just jump right into it. The first thing I noticed when I watched the trailer was actually the color palette. The movie's set in 1970s London, and I really like how they've used this almost monochrome color palette where everything is black and white or red. It's not all the way there, so it's only those three colors that they use, but I still think it looks really cool. Now, this movie follows a young Cruella de Vil, even before she was known as Cruella. In fact, we know that Emma Stone's character is actually called Estella de Vil. So Cruella is a sort of nickname that she gains at some point in the movie. And I think that makes sense. I don't know if she's ever been called Estella in any other media, but it makes sense that Cruella wouldn't be her real name. That's a very, very cartoony name. I mean, it's not like her last name is any bit more subtle than Cruella. I mean, de Vil is literally devil, but yeah, I still think it makes sense that they call her Estella instead of Cruella. In many places, this film has been described as a prequel to 101 Dalmatians, but I don't really think that's going to be what this movie is. I think it's more likely going to be an alternative take on the origin of this character of Cruella de Vil. And I don't think it's necessarily going to end in a way that leads directly into 101 Dalmatians. And I really think the character of Cruella does seem very different in this trailer. We've obviously already seen the character of Cruella multiple times before. The character was introduced in Dodie Smith's novel, The 101 Dalmatians, back in 1956. But most notably, of course, we know the character from Disney's animated version of 101 Dalmatians.
Anita, darling!
But watching this trailer, I actually think that Emma Stone's version of the character is more similar to the Glenn Close version from the 1996 live-action remake of 101 Dalmatians.
Anita, darling.
And if you haven't seen that version, I highly recommend it. That is really one of the better live-action remakes of Disney classics. If for nothing else, then just watch it to see Glenn Close as Cruella de Vil, because she is so good and so evil. She's just so good that you can't take your eyes off her when she's on screen. She steals that entire movie. But like I said, I think that the version of the character that Emma Stone is going to portray in this movie is going to draw more on what we know about the character from the 1996 live-action version rather than what we know about Cruella from the book or from the original animated movie. Because I believe that both in the book and the original animated movie, she's just some sort of rich heiress who inherited all of her money and just has an affinity for fur. And I mean, that's great for a cartoon villain. She doesn't have to be that three-dimensional. She just has to be evil. And that's what Cruella de Vil is in the animated movie. In the live action movie, however, they've given her a bit more of a character. In that movie, she became a fashion designer and she'd really sort of made a name for herself in that regard. But of course, she was still massively evil, maybe even more evil than in the animated movie. I mean, the live action version starts with her having a white tiger killed in the middle of London Zoo. So yeah, she's pretty bad. In the trailer, we get a shot of Cruella's car driving through the gates of Hill Hall. Literally the gates of hell. In the animated movie, we're told that Hill Hall is Cruella's ancestral home, but it's sort of run down and no one's really lived there for years. But it's also the place where Jasper and Horace are keeping all of the stolen Dalmatian puppies before they're going to kill them and skin them. Man, that movie is so dark. However, in this movie, it seems like Hill Hall actually doesn't belong to Cruella. At least not at first. We know that another Emma Thompson, is playing a character named Baroness von Hellman, who is a very famous fashion designer in this movie. And with her name being von Hellman, I think it's probably a pretty safe bet that she is in fact the owner of Hill Hall. Just on a side note, can we just really quickly talk about the fact that she's named after a brand of mayonnaise? That's weird. It's probably a coincidence, but I want to believe it's not. Anyways, though Cruella de Vil is obviously the name of a villain, I don't think we can rule out that Van Helmen is also probably a bad guy of some sorts. And we do see a clip in this trailer where it looks like Baroness Van Helmen is breaking into a bank vault. So I kind of think that she's going to be the one who gets Cruella or Estella on her evil ways before she then double crosses her and cheats her in some sort of way. So I think what we're going to see in this movie is that Cruella is going to help stop or cause the downfall of Baroness Van Helmen, not because she wants to do the right thing, but because she feels cheated. And from then she goes on to become even more of a villain than the Baroness. Now, it doesn't seem like she's going to be skinning a load of Dalmatians in this movie. We do see 3 Dalmatians at Baroness Van Helmen's party, but originally she doesn't really get obsessed with the Dalmatian fur until she finds out that Roger and Anita's dogs, Pongo and Perdita, are having puppies.
For heaven's sakes, where are they? Who, Cruella? I don't... The puppies!
However, I did read a synopsis on the Disney Wiki where it said that she, in this movie, would become obsessed with dog fur and especially Dalmatians. So once again, I just want to underline that I don't think this is going to be a direct prequel or something that leads into 101 Dalmatians. I think it's probably going to use some parts of 101 Dalmatians, but other than that, be completely its own thing. We do actually know that Emily Beecham has been cast as Anita in this movie. And in the animated movie, we're told that Anita and Cruella know each other from school. So it would make sense for Anita to have some sort of role in this story. But once again, I don't think this is going to be the story of Cruella trying to skin 99 Dalmatian puppies to make a coat. I think this is going to be a different take on the character, sort of in the vein of Maleficent. And I'm a bit hesitant to mention Maleficent in this context because while I think Maleficent was fine, I didn't really like the fact that she wasn't a villain in the end. She was just sort of misunderstood. And I really hope they don't do the same thing with this character because Cruella is the most evil Disney villain ever. She kills puppies, goddammit. You can't get more evil than that. So I really don't think they should do a sort of misunderstood hero kind of thing. They should just let her be evil. And this leads me to the obvious comparison that everyone has probably been making about this movie, that it really does have some Joker vibes. And I mean, in the movie Joker, you also get sympathy for the Joker, but he obviously isn't a good guy. And I think that would be really cool if they did something similar with Cruella. I'm just sort of cautious about it because I don't think Disney really would make a movie where the main character is a bad person. But I hope they do. Like I said, Cruella is the worst, the baddest of the bad guys. She is evil incarnate. Her name literally means cruel devil. Please don't make her a misunderstood hero. But for now, I'm going to remain cautiously optimistic. I really am excited to see this movie when it comes out, which it does in May. But what do you think? Did you see the trailer and are you excited to see Emma Stone as Cruella? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos from me. But that's pretty much all I had for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care and so long.